That's it. That's a gold cup. Is that a gold?
No, it is. I can't keep from playing those hot notes.
Hey everybody, Mac Griswold, Neighborhood Real Estate, and I am on Piano Lane here, just north of town off D Highway. This is probably a room that's familiar to a lot of people. I am here with another episode of Why Do You Call Bolivar Home, and with Miss Marilyn Davis here today too. So let's just jump into it. Do you think that you have given piano lessons to most of the people in Bolivar, or no?
Well, just not most. I live in the country, and a lot of them take from people in town.
Yeah.
But I've given to a lot, hundreds.
Yeah. Marilyn, do me a favor. Introduce yourself. If you were introducing yourself, what would you say about you?
I was born almost 83 years ago.
Okay.
And in the house just straight west here, which is the first house north of the Methodist Church. And they said it was a very cold morning, evening. And after I was born, so I'm praying it doesn't get that cold this year because I've got more green beans to can.
Well, we walked in and you had several green beans out there. Is canning one of your things?
Yes, it is. I love to can green beans because all my family likes them. Well, I'm not sure about all the great grandkids, but one granddaughter-in-law, she likes no kind of beans.
Yeah.
But everybody else loves them. They love them and they look forward to it every year.
Yeah. I also saw some tomatoes. So you're a big gardener.
With
right?
the help of my son-in-law, Mark Julian, and my daughter, Melissa, his wife, and Carson, one of my granddaughters in Bolivar, because Mark does all the tilling and fixes it, puts up the tomato cages and tills it. And Carson and Melissa planted the flowers this year.
Well,
they were very particular in the way they planted. And one day, Mark tilled when it was really hot.
Mm-hmm.
One day I didn't go out there for a while. And when I went out, I said, "Oh, Mark, you've already tilled these beans," but they were new ones that I put out. Because one row we put out old seed. That's a no-no. It didn't come up. So I said, well, we'll plant them over. So I did. And then it was really hot weather, really hot. And the leaves it just looked like they was burnt, a few of them on it. So I thought, well, I'm not going to have Mark to till around those. But he had already tilled them when I got out there. And I said, I was going to save you some time. But I said, it's okay. And they're the best beans yet, the best ones. So I'm thankful to him that he did not till them up like I would have had him to done.
How many acres do you have out here?
Well, I think maybe 220 or something like that.
220, something like that?
Mm-hmm. I'm not real sure. Yeah. We do have a piece of land that was all inherited from my folks, Johnny and Mabel Vett.
Okay, yeah.
And my dad, many years ago, he bought this property over, it's north of the church, about a mile, and it's 20 acres, a lot of wooded area. And my daughter and Melissa and Mark are going to build a new house over there. They broke ground last week.
Oh, great.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like family is really important to you.
Yes, it is.
So talk to me about your family.
Michelle and Brett Hosley, our oldest daughter, they have two children, Alex and Blake. Alex is married to T.J. Fenton and have Dawson, Hallie, and Elsie. Blake is their son, and he's married to Caitlin, and they have Tatum. Melissa, our younger daughter, is married to Mark Julian, and they have two daughters, Sydney and Carson. Sydney is married to Logan Webb, and they have Bennett. Carson is our youngest grandchild.
Well, good. You passed the first test. Remembering all those names is
I hope I got them all right.
Can be difficult. Yeah. So you've lived in this area your entire life then? Right?
I was born in that house west.
Yeah.
You can see it from outside. And my dad was born in the same house.
Okay.
But it had been remodeled a little. It used to have an upstairs. It was remodeled a little bit before I was born. And so that was in 1942.
Well, okay.
And then when Jim and I got married, we lived in Springfield for about a year or so.
Okay.
And then we moved back to Bolivar in the Gothard Apartments.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody's heard of those.
Yeah.
And then we moved to College Street my great aunt passed away, and so my mother and aunt owned the property. They took care of her, so she gave them her house. They took care of her so she wouldn't have to go to a nursing home. And so we lived there for about 9 years, and then we built out here in 1971. We moved in 1971.
Right here in this house.
Right here.
Okay. When did you start doing piano lessons? Because you were doing those while you were still in town, right?
Yes,
before you came out.
In the late 60s, middle 60s. I see Michelle was born in 64. And I think maybe she was a couple years old, and I started giving just a very few people. But, maybe 4 or 5 or 6. And so when we moved out here, then it started getting more and more.
Yeah.
And then at one time I had like 25, and I even had a waiting list at one time.
Wow.
And because I worked at the school too.
Yeah. What did you do at the school?
Cooked.
Yeah.
Well, I cooked for 7 years.
Okay.
And then they built the middle school, which is the intermediate school now.
Right.
So Frances Williams, she couldn't do money. If she would be at the primary of a morning, then go to the high school and take money. Well, she couldn't be at 3 buildings. So I started doing the lunch money there at when the middle school was built. Wow. And then I went to the other middle school where it is now, and I did the lunch. And then I ended up staying there all day. Well, first of all, I'd go back to the primary school and help out 3 days a week, and the intermediate school 2 days a week. But then they get breakfast. When they started doing breakfast, I had to stay there all day.
Okay. Did you enjoy working at the schools and with the kids and stuff?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
What'd you love about it?
Pardon?
What did you love about it?
I just liked seeing the kids, and I don't know, I just really, really liked it. I love to cook. I really like to cook, too. But I think I like the lunch money better.
Yeah.
But it was kind of, a little bit hard to do sometimes, but it was worth it, yeah.
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 I probably saw a lot of your students.
Yes.
At school.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be sweet.
Yes, and when I was at the middle school, I even picked up some of them, brought them with me,
Wow.
And then I used to have them to ride the bus. They used to ride the bus, and I'd go pick them up at the road, which I didn't do for my daughters, and they remind me of that. You get old and you get...
You'd pick them up at the road down there at the front of the drive. Yes. It's a long drive to come up Piano Lane, which is neat. How long have you had that sign there for?
Okay. I can't remember. We really talked about getting a sign. We just kind of came up with the idea, my husband and I. So I went to this place in Springfield. I think it's on Battlefield. I'm not sure. And I told him what I wanted. So then my husband and I, we went to make sure then. And so he wasn't feeling too well right then after that. And just, with farm life, there's always something to do. And he's going to have to put in a new gate and a new post and everything. And he couldn't do that by himself.
Mm-hmm.
So it just never got done,
Yeah.
Because he just had too much. He worked very hard.
Yeah.
Very hard.
Yeah.
He sold bearings for many years. 40,000 miles a year is what he drove.
Wow.
Bearing headquarters. And then he'd farm at night.
Okay.
And water the flowers at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So I used to didn't water him or anything because I didn't know him from a weed, but I've learned a few things.
Yeah.
But anyway, it never was put up. It was out in the garage. And so Chris Pomeroy, you may have heard of him. They did Jim's hay the summer that Jim was sick, and because he owns the land across from us.
Okay.
And he wanted to know if there's anything he could do for me after, because they were going to rent the ground then.
Yeah.
We're going to let them rent. That's whose cows these are. And so he wanted to know anything he could do. And I thought about it and said, yes, there is something you can do. I've got a sign in the garage that I'd really like to put up because Jim and I picked it out and he just never was able to do it. So he said, we'll do it.
Yeah.
And I think I went to Springfield or somewhere one day and I come home and they had it up. They had to get a new gate and two or three of them worked on it.
Yeah. Something to be said for good neighbors like that,
yes.
Good friends. So nice work, Chris Pomeroy. That's good because I passed that sign all the time. I think a lot of people do, and we know what that means. It means that Marilyn's up here, right, doing piano lessons. So this is behind me is the baby grand piano. You said you've always wanted one of those, or
always, yeah.
when did you get it, and things like that? How long has it been in this room? Because there was a different piano here, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It was a smaller Baldwin. I think it was a Spanish.
Is it the one that's in?
No,
that's
a different story about that one out there. And so, yeah, I'd always wanted. I think the reason I wanted it, the teacher I went to in Bolivar, Mrs. Buchholz, Mrs. Floyd Noah Buchholz, she had a baby grand, and it was black. And I just loved it. I just loved going there to piano lessons. She was strict, but she was good. And
what does a strict piano teacher look like? That's what I thought of too. If anybody's taking piano lessons, you know that this is, even when we did our duet, you had me start with my hands on my lap like this. And so want to make sure that so she was strict, but she was good.
She really wasn't. She was really kind-hearted. She really was. And I was looking, I've got some of my old lesson books where she'd write my lesson in it. Yeah. And I noticed she gave me E pluses a lot of times.
When did you start taking piano lessons?
I was 10 years old. I was born in 42 and started in 52.
So just a few years ago.
Yeah, just a few. And she had a full schedule. She taught probably 40 a week. And so I went.
Wow.
We usually went to town once a week. So my mother and I walked up there from the Bolivar Square to up by the college. It was right across from Pike Auditorium. That's not there anymore. Yeah. And we got me scheduled for piano, and I think it's like 4:30 on Saturday afternoon. Because Saturday worked for us because farmers went to town once a week. Once a week.
Right. So what did you love? Did you love piano immediately?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't a chore for you. She wasn't dragging you to piano lessons like you wanted to go.
No, I wanted to. I think I'd always heard the story. She kept telling me the story, about how she wanted to play. And I just really wanted to play too. I just really wanted to.
And you give your mom some credit for you teaching piano now too, right?
Yes.
So she really wanted you to play, and she got you the lessons, and you were excited to go.
Yes.
So when did you, I guess, what was it in you that started to want to teach, and this is, a lot of people know you maybe from the school. I would venture to say even more people know you from the piano teacher. Mm-hmm. In fact, Justin Lahr and family Therese, they're the ones who said, "Hey, put Marilyn on the list. You got to go to Marilyn because you give piano lessons to not only kids but adults." You were just talking about that with my wife there. What is it about you though that wants to teach piano?
Well, I just want to help somebody, and anybody that has an interest in it. I don't know what it is. I really don't know. I just love to do it. And anybody that they say, "Oh, I can't play." I used to a long time ago, but I said, it'll all come back to you. And it does. It does. It's just something about the piano. And I relate to a lot of songs throughout too, different ones. Yeah.
What are your favorite types of songs to play?
Well, I like hymns a lot. And, actually, there's a couple. It's been coming to me when I was thinking about how I'd like somebody, maybe my thoughts, or how I'd like for somebody to remember me. There's a couple songs. One is Others. It's in the old Coltsbury hymnal.
Others.
Okay. And I never looked it up on the computer, but you can look it up. And I'm not sure which. And then there's another one, An Evening Prayer.
Okay.
And and one of them, Jim Reeves sings that I saw, but there's different singers, and one of them, Tennessee Ernie Ford.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot which one is which.
I have a couple of his records. He could really sing some hymns there. Those are the two songs that you want
it has meaning to me. Like Others. Lord, help me live from day to day in such a forgetful way that even when I kneel to pray, help me think of others, or something like that.
Oh, that's good.
And then An Evening Prayer. Well, I forgot.
Yeah, but I mean, the title says it all, right? We're we're a country that needs prayer right now, for
That's
sure.
right.
That we're
Definitely.
a people that needs prayer at the same time. So let me ask you the question of the video here, for sure. But why do you call Bolivar home? You've lived here. You're somebody who has great experience with the community, with not only this part of the community here, but with the people. And what is it that you love about Bolivar? Why do you like to call Bolivar home?
Well, I do just love Bolivar. And like I say, I've been here all my life, except for a year or so in Springfield. But it's just a wonderful place to live.
Yeah.
And people are so down to earth, you know. And I just had my 65th class reunion at Smith's, and it was wonderful. It really was. We do it with the 61 people also now.
Wow.
But everybody was just, I'd say they're just happy to be there. Thankful to be there.
Thankful's a good word.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Well, that's that. I wanted to go back just a little bit and talk to you about the piano lessons. And you said your mother was an inspiration for wanting to give piano lessons. And did she give lessons also, or how much did she pay for your lessons, or what is it about that inspired you?
Well, she never did get to take lessons.
Oh, okay.
Because they didn't feel, my grandpa thought he wanted to be fair to her three sisters that were like 2 years apart, you know, but they didn't want to take. They did not want to take, and they begged him to let her take because she wanted to. But you know how that is. So I admire him for being not partial, you know.
Yeah.
I try not to be partial to my two girls. I try to make sure everything, like Melissa and Mark will get the 20 acres over here, and Michelle and Brett will get money because they live up there and they don't, maybe if there's any left.
Okay. Is this the one in Grain Valley?
Yes. Okay. No, at Lee Summit. But their daughter, Alex, and her husband, TJ, live in Grain Valley. And they're there to take care of them, back and forth with their activities, and they're in sports and things at Dawson, Hallie, and Elsie.
Yeah.
And then their son, Blake, married a lady named Caitlin, and she is a nurse in St. Louis. And they have one daughter, Tatum, and they live there in Tatum.
So many things so many names to remember there. What about the holidays and stuff? How often do they come here, or do you go there, or how do you all manage that?
Well, both. They were here this summer.
Okay.
Michelle and Brad and Alex and the three children, and then the Sydney and Benny from Bolivar. I usually call him Benny. It's Bennett. And Melissa and Carson. I don't think Carson got to come this time. I don't think she was working.
Okay.
She works in Springfield.
Yeah.
And so they got to come. They would come, and it was one of the hottest days. We didn't even get to go. Well, the kids went out just a little bit to watch them do hay down in the field, but they didn't stay long. And so it was just too hot for them to get out.
Yeah.
But they really enjoy coming. They've come last summer and this summer also.
Yeah. And if you don't live in the country or have family that lives in the country there, then you don't understand that watching them do hay. It is fun.
It's different to them.
Well, I want to stay on the same line of music with your mother. I forgot to ask you, what was the 10-cent story?
Okay, about my mother wanting to take piano lessons.
Okay, yes.
And they didn't have much money.
But that's how much the lessons were?
No, I know it wasn't more than a quarter. It could have been even less. And the lady lived pretty close to him, you know.
Wow.
And I don't know if her friends had played piano, but she always had a love for piano. And I think that's why the older I get, the more I love teaching adults and young kids. And they're all different. Everybody's different.
Is there an age where it's like, forget it, you're too old to play piano?
No, never.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure, because there might be somebody listening that's going, I don't know, kind of always wanted to do that.
Yeah.
But now you've done a good job of trying to make it affordable for people. So money is not an obstacle of being able to learn this thing that you love called piano.
Yeah. And if they can't afford it, I would even give it to them free.
Yeah.
If they'd furnish their books and get here,
Yeah.
I would.
You love it. And I think everybody that knows you knows that's true. I think they speak highly of you. Yeah.
I do make mistakes.
Yeah. No, I don't believe it.
Yeah, I do. Sometimes they correct me. I say a certain note and 2 or 3 times here lately.
Yeah. Do you have more, I don't know if there's a more or less or a first or a second, but do you get more reward out of the lessons and the teaching when they get it, or watching them whenever it comes to fruition, like at a recital and they are able to kind of have that moment? What do you
Well, this last recital I had, it was really a good one. I mean, they've all been good.
Yeah.
But I think there was like 20 or 21. There was actually one little girl in it that wasn't on the program. And they do solos, each one, and the duets. And even my adults, they will play too.
Yeah.
And
the nerves there. Are they nervous? You have to talk to, you have to meet them on an emotional level and say, it's okay, just breathe.
I just leave it up to them.
Oh, okay.
And some of them don't want to play duets, and that's fine.
Okay.
And I used to make them memorize them. Well, my granddaughter Carson, one time, I knew she could do it. So I stressed, I said, oh, you'll have to play it by memory. I'll never forget it. And she did wonderful. But I felt bad about that later. So I got lenient in the last few years. They can use their music if they want to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're the strict teacher. Is that right? Are you the strict piano teacher now?
No. I hope not. Yeah. I hope not. But I have a good friend, Art Woods, and he saw how people kept coming in bunches. So this last recital. So he took some of the programs, went out on the front porch and gave them to them as they come in. He counted them. He said there was 107 there.
Wow, that's great. Yeah. That's great. So this is the front room. Mm-hmm. With that you do. Do you still do lessons here now, or is it all in the piano room?
Out in the piano room.
So talk to me about the piano room.
Okay. Yes, that piano was my dad's sister's. It was probably around 1900. My dad was born in 1907, and she was older. And I think she was about 12 when they gave her lessons. I'm not positive. And she got sick, only had very few lessons. She got sick, and I think it was typhoid fever.
Wow.
And my grandma got it too, and she passed away. Okay. But my grandma got okay. So it was in the house forever. So when we moved to Bolivar, my folks wanted to build a fireplace in there, and wanted to get rid of it.
Oh, okay.
So, and they wanted me to have it. And so we moved it to Bolivar. Yeah. And didn't have enough help because, I mean, it's heavy. Mm-hmm. And my husband always said it made grooves on the wooden porch. But anyway, he said he'd never move it again. But then they moved it out here to the garage, or it was a garage then, concrete floor, so it stayed there ever since. But anyway, Mr. McClard refinished it for me a few years ago because it was black and really in kind of bad shape. And he did a good job of remodeling, and he does my tuning.
Gotcha. Okay. I was wondering if you tuned it yourself.
Every year.
Every year.
And this year, I'm so behind with everything. He'll be here in October. He tunes this one here.
Wow.
And that one out there in the piano room, and the one at the church, because I pay for that because I have my recitals there. So I feel like I should pay for the tuning. Okay.
And it's nice. You're creating we talked about Justin and Therese Lahr. Of course, they own Bolivar Flooring. Mm-hmm. Did they do the flooring in there? Or?
I already, before they went into the flooring business.
Oh, okay.
This project has gone on almost 3 years. It'll be 3 years in December when my hot water heater sprung a leak.
Oh, okay. That's what started the whole thing. Huh?
And it just missed the piano. So that was a real blessing. I told them about it a couple of times. They said, just watch it. So I had the flu one December, I think it was, or January 1. And I didn't go out there for 2 or 3 days. Well, I thought, oh, what is that water? Yeah. And so it took me that long to get everything in order and get it finished up. And then I had gallbladder surgery one time. And so it just took almost 3 years. Yeah. But I'm thankful to have it finished up.
Yeah, it looks like it's about ready with that bathroom there too. And there's an old church pew in there as well that you said came from the old church.
The old church.
Not that church that you drive by and see. There's an old church.
Uh-huh. There was an old church just north of it.
Okay.
We wanted to redo it, build on, but it wasn't, they just couldn't. It didn't have a good foundation. So we built a little fellowship, just a small building out on the east of what the church is now. And then we had that for a while. And then we did dinners, monthly dinners. And then we built the new sanctuary in about 2000.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You've talked a lot about your kids. Do you have siblings yourself?
I have one brother, Wayne Franklin Vest.
Oh, okay.
He lives over at Polk.
Okay, so he's around. He's in the area. Mm-hmm. And Polk's not far from here.
No, about 4 miles, 3 miles.
3 miles or so. And I meant to ask you too, where did you meet your husband?
Well, he was from Morrisville.
Okay, yeah.
And so actually, we had a mutual friend. And I said, I think I'd kind of like to go out with Jim Davis.
That was a subtle hint. You were dropping a subtle hint, hoping that would get passed along.
That's right. And so anyway, of course, in that day and time, we had a phone on the wall.
Right, yeah.
2 longs and 2 shorts. And you didn't call him, but couldn't call Bolivar.
2 longs and 2 shorts. That's
long,
yeah, I was going to say, you need to explain what that means there. That's how you called, right? That was how you go.
And we couldn't call Bolivar. We could go to Polk. They had a station over there. And from here we couldn't. Some of the neighbors could call Bolivar. So
fancy. Those were the well-to-do people, maybe.
They happened to live in the right area. And then finally we got it then. But anyway, so this friend of ours, he brought him out to my house, and I had seen him different places. So actually, I would say that I asked a date for him, and I think real shortly after that, I think I'm going to marry this guy.
Now, how old were you then?
Let me think. I was about 18,
okay.
17 maybe. Yeah. And because we got married when I was 19, I think. Oh, yeah, that's another story. I didn't have to have my parents sign.
Yeah.
Because I was 18.
Yeah.
But he wasn't 21, and his mother had to go sign for him.
Oh, why did he have to be 21?
That a girl had to be 18, a boy had to be 21, and we also had to have a blood test.
I knew the blood test thing. I never knew the age thing.
21. So
they just changed that. They just changed.
I wonder why the boy had to be 21. That's interesting.
I know. So his mother went and signed. We went to this Crank's drugstore down there on, just southeast of the square.
Yeah. So that's a nice little parlay, because you were talking about you missed some of the old shops that they had on. What do you miss maybe about, or, give us some early memories of like the Bolivar Square town and the shops and things like that.
Yes, I do miss them. Hackers, dress shop.
Yeah. We did one of these. I did one of these with Bill and Sandy Jones, and they talked about Hackers.
It was wonderful.
Yeah. What others?
Hortons.
Hortons. Yeah, I remember Hortons. Yeah.
Breathwaite's.
Okay, Breathwaite's. Yeah, that was the men's clothing store, right? Down where, I think the feed store was. Now Sweet Kale is there on the corner.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Wasn't there a little cafe? I know Dee's Nifty Cafe, but there was a cafe across the square, too, from Breathwaite's, I think, at one point. Do you remember anything about that?
Well, the tea garden was there by where Breathwaite's is.
Up above.
I'm not sure.
What was town like? What was Bolivar like? I know you talked about what you liked about it. What was the community like and the area like at that time growing up?
Well, we went to town on Saturday afternoon, and that worked out. We'd go get feed and groceries at the farm club.
Yeah.
And which is MFA.
Yeah.
And then I would go to my piano lessons, because we always made one trip to it,
Yeah.
And the first time I went to sign up for lessons, I don't think I told you this, my mother and I walked from the Bolivar Square up there.
Yeah.
And then a lot of days I would walk to my lesson while my parents, or my mother mostly, Daddy was usually working in the field.
Yeah.
I would walk to my lesson, and then they'd come pick me up usually. And sometimes I'd walk back down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
You talked about MFA, which just kind of reminded me. You've shown me 2 pictures here where you're wearing feed sack clothes, right? Can you talk about that? Because I think a lot of people might not know what you mean.
Well, when we go to town, we would get to pick out what feed sack we wanted to make a dress out of.
Yeah.
We made, and then the colored ones, different colors. And that's a lot of my dresses whenever I was before school and first few grades of school, they were feed sack dresses.
Well, there's actually feed in the sack.
Yes.
That you would use the feed, and then you would have this great material left over with, and they start, I don't know when that started, but I've always heard the stories of that, where the companies started to get smart and say, let's create these pretty designs, and then people will use them and repurpose the sack to make. Now, the pictures that you have are black and white. Of those feed sacks. Do you have any colored pictures of them? No, but I'm gonna take a picture. You'll see them on here of the feed sack shirts and dresses and things like that. That's pretty good. Is that is that a fond memory that you have?
It is, because I'd have usually one, maybe more when I was real young, good dress, to wear for Sunday for church. And in special occasions,
Yeah.
But then as I got older, got more and more, you know how it is. And
Yeah. Did you sew them? Or did your
no,
mother
my
sew
mother
them?
did.
Okay.
Yeah, on a treadle sewing machine.
Treadle. What is that? Is that the
No, you push
the
it with
foot,
your feet.
right?
Treadle. That's how I learned to sew
Okay.
when I was in 4-H.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned to sew on a treadle sewing machine.
Sewing machine.
And my daughter, Melissa, has that machine.
Okay.
Now.
Very cool.
She likes, actually, both daughters like antique things.
Yeah.
Michelle, not so much now, but Melissa still does mostly. Well, actually, both of them do. But we had these old pie safes.
Yeah.
I was talking about the landfall, though. All these different seals around here, they have a name.
Okay.
Where they're going to build is Lily Corner. You get it from whoever owned it. But anyway, one time, it was about this time of the year, the kids were here, and we went over to this house that my dad owned the property. Then they left a lot of furniture in it.
Yeah.
And these 2 old pie safes were over there. We wanted to get a table, but it wasn't good enough. So we got these 2 pie safes, and they were in a mess. Rat holes or mice holes. They were covered up with tin can lids and stuff like that. So my folks put them in the, and then I had a friend that redid them for them, and they both still have those pie safes.
You mentioned that rocking chair was also really old. Is there a story behind that?
Yes, it is. John L. and Lizzie Hood lived in Huron. It's close to where the brick house is now. It was just, the house is not there anymore. It's just east of that. But my mother went to a sale, and she bought that, and it was black, just old black. And this is when we lived in Bolivar.
Yeah.
And my husband refinished it. It took him a long time.
Yeah.
And he took all that off and then varnished it. So it's an old chair.
What did you and your husband enjoy doing?
Well,
did you have some things that you enjoyed doing together?
Yeah. In later years, we like to work together. At one time I'd drive the tractor and pick up hay bales, and we, together, and just here on the farm, we did work together and feed calves and stuff like that, and grind feed, and I'd help him, and sometimes just look and maybe boss.
Yeah. Was he musical?
No, he wasn't. And I wish.
Your whole face changed when you said that.
He could sing. He could. But I wished I'd taught him. But then he lost his finger.
Yeah.
He was making some little slivered boards for me to go in a cabinet, a corner cabinet in Bolivar. And the saw got his finger, and he had to end up going to Springfield. So he always made the excuse he didn't have one finger, that he couldn't.
Sounds like a good excuse to me.
But anyway, I do wish I did. I tried to, at one time, talk Mother into letting me help her, but she was always so busy milking and stuff, at that day and time.
That's great. Yeah.
So I didn't accomplish those 2.
Yeah.
But my daughters both took.
Oh, they did? Okay. Did they still play?
Yes, they can. Yes.
Great.
Mm-hmm. And my granddaughter, every time she comes, the one that lives in Bolivar, Sydney Julian Webb, she plays. She has certain song. It is Well With My Soul.
That's a great song.
I always have it out for her.
That's a great song.
She loves that song. So.
And I love the story. I love the hymns. You were talking about hymns. I love the hymns. I love the stories of the hymns. And I don't have to get into it right now, but if you've never looked at how It Is Well With My Soul came about and why he wrote that song, it's heart-wrenching.
It is.
It's unbelievable. And I'm a person of faith also, but to be that person, to write that song in the midst of all of that heartache and hurt, that's only a God thing. That's only a God thing that can make that happen. If you're interested, look up that story of how that came about. But those old hymns, I think, play. I think music connects us at an emotional level. It meets us at this emotional level.
Yes.
What are some of the old hymns that maybe you remember growing up in church that you really liked it when they would play? I don't want to put you on the spot. We didn't.
Yeah.
But not that necessarily you would play, but that you sang.
Yeah. Oh, the old rugged cross. What a friend we have in Jesus. What a friend is the first one I tried to pick out myself.
Oh, yeah.
On the piano out of the hymn book.
Yeah.
Well, it was a little difficult, but I worked on it. But now then they have easy Christian music, easy piano for you can play Jesus Loves Me on your first lesson almost. And a lot of mine want to play the, religious songs, and that makes me happy. The religious and the Christmas,
Yeah.
And I remember you asked about my husband. We really enjoy going to gospel concerts.
Oh, yeah.
He was working with a guy, Kevin Waters.
Okay.
And he come home and told me that, he's working with a guy and he was going to be singing with a new quartet in Springfield. So we were going to go. But in the meantime, he got an offer to go sing with In Harmony. Okay. I don't know if you've ever heard of that group. Well, they don't sing together anymore, but we had them a couple times at the church. Okay. They were wonderful. You can look up In Harmony. They're really good. And his name was Kevin Waters. And so we got started going to gospel concerts, and we went to see a lot in Greater V.
Right.
Yeah.
There's so many services and so many people and so many groups and
Kay Long. I go to church with her at the Connection on Saturday night.
Oh,
She goes to First Baptist at 8:00, and I ask her about people. She don't know either. I
tried to get Kay Long to do one of these.
She should.
Yeah.
I'll tell her.
You tell her.
I haven't told very many people. Let me tell you, just a very few. I wasn't going to tell anybody, but to Sarah. Sarah spoke to us for Sunday.
Okay, yeah.
Good. And so then my brother calls me that night and he said, well, Matt Griswold's looking for you. And I said, oh.
Your brother?
My brother.
He called you?
Yeah, he
Matt
called
Griswold's
me.
looking for you. That's funny.
Yeah. And Denver McGinnis, he is my helper now.
Okay, yeah.
He is the best.
Okay.
If I call him, I try not to bother him, and I don't much. I haven't even talked to him now for a few weeks. And of course, Donald was his grandpa.
Yeah.
That you interviewed. And and then back to my piano lessons. Jenna Roberts, that I gave to for 13 years.
13 years, okay.
Some of the kids like to do Gold Cup.
Yeah.
And I didn't start that for a while till I was working at the primary school. And Mary Little helped me do it. She said, well, you've got to have a name for your studio,
Yeah.
Well, what will I name it? And she said, Davis Darlings. So that just stuck with me. So it's been Davis Darlings.
That's great.
But anyway, so then when Jenna came along, she wanted to, some of the kids do Gold Cup. It takes a while. It takes at least 3 years to get a Gold Cup.
Wow, yeah.
Well, Jenna got 2 of her third Gold Cup. She got her third Gold Cup. That was the first time ever. I've had several. My granddaughter, some different ones, several second cup, but not the third.
Wow, yeah.
And so, and she still plays in my recital.
Oh, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. And can you, because I want to make sure that we captured it, what was the gentleman's name that you talked about that had his own recitals now that you taught?
Anthony Azoon.
Anthony Azoon. And so how was he young when he started with you?
Yes, he was, I'm not real sure, 8 or so maybe.
Okay, and then he outpaced where you could take him.
Yeah.
So he went on, and then ultimately you said he invited you to one of his very own recitals. You thought it was going to be a group, and it was just him, right?
His own recital. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I still have his program, and he signed it for me.
Wow.
He went to somewhere, I'm not really sure where went to some other country for a while in his medical field, and I've lost contact, but I would love to get back with him.
Yeah, maybe we can find in the power of social media. Mm-hmm. So is he your favorite student ever?
No, they're all my favorite. They're all my favorite.
I was going to see what happened. I was going to see what you'd say.
I love every one of them. I do.
Yeah. My sister will be happy to hear that. I love
Allison too.
Yeah, you have to say that. It's recorded now.
They're all important.
They're all important. Well, and they all, and I get it. I coach a lot of sports, youth sports and kids sports, and man, just love the kids. Mm-hmm. Just love investing in their lives, and it's always, similarly for piano, I assume, as it would be for me with the coaching the sports. I love to coach basketball and soccer, but it's not just about basketball and soccer. Same thing with piano. It's not just about. It's about the relationship and the growth and the other lessons that you learn. I think you would probably agree with that, right?
I do. Yes, and while we're talking about the meaning of the songs, I have got 4 books that Melissa gave to me each Christmas, and it tells the story of the song all of them,
Okay.
the hymns.
That's great.
Got the Robert Morgan, I think, wrote them. And so every once in a while at Sunday school, if our teacher's not there, they want me to read the story of the songs that we're going to sing that day.
Okay.
And that it is Well With My Soul, Amazing Grace by John Newton, and
well, you get so it's such a repetition. You just kind of sing them and you kind of go through the motions. But then if you're reminded of the story of how that came, man, it's impactful.
Yeah,
it's impactful.
And the other day we were talking about Stuart Hampton. Do you remember? Have you ever heard this? Okay, he wrote this Old House.
Okay. Yeah.
And do you remember this song?
Yes.
This Old House. And until then, and I forgot the other one we was talking about. We were singing it that day. Is the reason, and so that's he wrote 200 and some songs. It's amazing how many songs people have written.
Yeah. Yeah. I also want to make sure we captured this just in case, but because we had the recording thing, I just want to make sure we have this. This is a hat, and it was sitting over here for a while, and I kept looking at it going, what is this for? Tell us about this hat again.
Okay. I got that. I was voted in to
Royal Rooters.
all I can think of is Royal Rooster.
Royal Roosters.
That's what they called us.
Yeah.
Okay, it was 1956, and
56.
I don't remember if we got those the first year or not, but only 50 could be in this pep club. You had to work at so many ball games a year, and we would wear those, and I don't know why I've just kept it all
It's
this
got this
time.
great leather little rim here, and you have the names of all your friends or boys you liked or whatever you said there, and it was who you were going to cheer loudly for. But look, this is a hat from that time, and I saw it sitting there, and it's just a piece of history, right? This is something that you just wanted to highlight that there too. So what else? It feels like we've covered a lot of ground. What else did you want to make sure that we talked about, or do you feel like we've done a good job with it?
Yeah. I don't know. Probably I'll think of it later. You know how that is.
Where are all the places that you worked? You said that your girls just found out.
Yeah.
So where was your first job, and then where did you go from there?
Yeah, where did you work?
Okay. I always wanted to go to college. I don't know why. I didn't study any classes in high school that would prepare me for college. I just always wanted to go to college.
Okay.
So I was already dating Jim then, but I still wanted to go to college, so I went 1 year. And I decided I had to drop history because I just couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
But I did write a report. I had English, and I had to write a essay, I guess you'd call it, about somebody that meant a lot. And I wrote about my piano teacher, and I still have that, Mrs. Floyd Nora Bucos.
Okay.
Actually, she's buried over here at Payne Cemetery.
Okay. Yeah.
Where Jim is and where I'll be. And I heard him on the other... on Rifleman, I think, the other day. I like those old shows,
Yeah.
He was talking about his wife. He said resting place.
The resting
and I
place.
think I kind of like that.
Yeah,
better than
like
cemetery.
Yeah,
resting place.
The resting
Just resting,
place.
Yeah.
That's good. So you ended up going to college then?
Yes, I went to college 1 year, and then decided, okay. So then I needed a job.
Yeah.
And so my friend told me about this shoe store. It was Dreyer Williams Shoe Stores on Wedgwood Shopping Center. That's South Campbell. It's not there anymore. They had like 5 Dreyer Williams at that time, 4 or 5. So I got that job. It was not a good paying job, not too good. So anyway, I worked there for a year or so, and then we decided I found out there was an opening at the welfare office. Pansy Baker was the director, and with a help of a friend, Diane Hubbard, I was able to land that job. She helped me with shorthand, everything. We were married then, so Jim took me out to her house of a night. She helped me get that job. So anyway, I worked there, and then Michelle came along, so I quit work, stay at home. I was a stay-at-home mom then. That was in 64 until 79. I went back to work. But I worked there, and it's Division of Family Services now. Yeah. And then I stayed home till 79. Then I was a cook at the Bolivar Primary School for 7 years, like I told before, and then did the lunch money.
Okay.
And now I'm just full-time piano teacher.
Yeah, which is great. which is a full-time piano teacher, but also mom and grandma and great-grandma. Yeah. It's a full plate. Yeah.
There's one more thing.
Okay.
Polk. I went to one-room school, then went to Polk. When we went to Bolivar, you know how kids, they just tease you. They called us the Polk Kicks. I don't know if any of them remember that or not, but you know that nowadays they think it's bullying. Yeah. But it wasn't.
No.
We loved it. We thought that was fun.
Where'd you go in Bolivar?
At North Ward.
So you were at North Ward.
Where the museum is.
Yeah.
1 year. Went to Polk 1 year. North Ward Museum 1 year. Then the high school, the North Ward room, which is in the basement of the old high school, then to high school there.
The North Ward room was in the basement of the old high school.
Yeah. It was on the south. Let's see, the south, and the South Ward room was on the north.
Okay. That doesn't make any sense.
See, there was North Ward, which is a museum now. The South Ward's gone. It's where Simon B's then was later.
Right. Tracy Migos and everything there. We actually drove by that the other day because I've done a lot of these interviews, and I kept hearing like, I used to go to South Ward. And I was like, where's South Ward? But then if you pull into that parking lot where Little Caesars is, the sign there says South Ward. And my wife noticed that, and she said, hey, this is where it was there. But a lot of people probably passed that and have no idea. That's why it's called South Ward, but that's where the school
it looked a lot like North Ward.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
And so they had a North Ward room and a South Ward room, and then they had a Mitchell building, which is the middle school now. So it went to 8th grades. So then we all got together in high school.
Yeah. Wow. Well, so so there was a room in the basement there where that's all those kids they took from North Ward and they put them in there?
It was on the first floor.
Oh, okay.
Not that we ate in the basement.
Yeah. I remember going to high school there until they built the new high school.
Yes.
I still call it the new high school. It's 30 years old. But that's where the cafeteria was whenever I was there too. A lot of history there. In fact, I went in that building the other day, which is now the administration building, and I went upstairs, and that old railing that goes upstairs, and I could still see names carved into the old wood railing. I was looking at those names there. We were looking at this on the mantle up here, and you pointed out this cowbell. Right here, which honestly, it does seem smaller than what I would have thought a cowbell might be. But so it's the cowbell. What's significant about the cowbell?
Yes, the cowbell. This one is smaller. The ladies, or anyway, my mother, she always had the smaller one. My dad had a huge one.
Okay.
And so when people got married, all the neighbors would go around and chivalry them.
And when you're saying chivalry. Chivalry. Okay.
I think that's how you pronounce it.
Okay.
And so right after they got married, a few days or so afterwards. And so that was my mother's cowbell that she used. But now my dad had a large one, and I've misplaced it somewhere. Okay. And then, but what was the process of the chivalry? That was like the celebration of the marriage? Where would they go for that? To their house. They'd go to their house. The people who got married? And all the neighbors would all gather up, meet somewhere, and then go to the house that the people got married. Did they know they were coming? At night, usually maybe about 8 or 9 o'clock. Yeah. And so then they would expect a treat. So the guys got cigars and the women got candy bars. Okay. And that was so they would expect a treat for going okay. Yeah, the people who got married had to furnish. And the guys got cigars and the women got candy bars. That's amazing. And did they know they were coming, or was it a surprise? No, surprise. Well, they might have figured it out. Yeah. That seems dangerous for a newlywed couple. Yeah, but we were never chivalried. You were never chivalried? No. Well, okay. But they did it up until a while, and I don't know if they ever do it anymore. Sometimes they used to push. The guy had to push the lady around the square in Bolivar in a wheelbarrow. After the marriage? Mm-hmm, really? That's part of the chivalry. Okay, I think we should bring that back. I think that's. I think that sounds fun. We should bring that back. Push them around the square in a wheelbarrow. So this was the bell used for the chivalry of. The ladies carried a small bell, and the guys. Yeah, anyway, my mother's was small, and they'd ring it. Okay, ring it. And whose was this for? My just any chivalry that she went to. So that was the one she carried. Yeah, she carried it. That's great. Do you want to ring? Do I want to ring it? Yeah. Do you want to? I think you should ring it. Okay. That's great. It's a good bell. It's a good bell. You'd hear them coming for sure. You can imagine a bunch of those.
All right, so we want to talk about this picture here.
Well, that's my husband, Jim.
And that's one of those feed sack.
Yeah, I think it is a feed sack shirt. I'm not positive.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
You just want to talk each. You collect these, I guess?
My niece got me those one year for Christmas.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm. And my daughter, Michelle, she was a nurse.
Okay.
After she graduated, went to Burge School of Nursing.
Okay.
And practiced in Lee Summit and later in St. Louis.
Okay.
And that vase is an old vase, and I'm not really sure where it came from. And then the cowbell. And then our younger daughter, Melissa.
All right.
That's her graduation picture. And then there's another things that somebody gave me. And that's me. And for some reason, I had a Mickey Mouse watch. And it had a red band, but it's not in color. And I don't know why I wanted to wear the Mickey Mouse watch with a dress, but anyway, I did.
Well, you're probably pretty proud of it.
I was. I still have it too, but the stem come out of it.
Is there a story on this? Or
yes, family from church gave that to me. It was the first year after my husband passed away.
Okay, that's my favorite Christmas song. Uh-huh. I love that song.
I do too. It's one of my favorites too.
Okay. All right. Anything else in here that we needed to hit on?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we go. Yes, I didn't get this the other day. Mm-hmm. That's good.
You want me to talk?
Yeah. Yeah. That's great.
Okay. That's my husband, Jim. But his real name is James Otis Davis. He was named after his two grandpas. His grandpa Davis was James, and his grandpa Painter was Otis. And so this is our oldest grandson.
Okay.
And he is Dawson James Fenton, and he is carrying the name on.
Oh, that's great.
With his grandpa.
That's great.
And Jim never did get to meet Dawson.
Oh.
Because he passed away.
Yeah.
And then that is...
Yeah, what's happening here?
That's my husband, Jim. That was in the 1970s. He could stand on his head.
Yeah. Is that right here?
That's right there.
That's right. Yeah. That's right here in the living room.
Right over there in this living room.
Okay.
And I think Melissa can carry on. She used to be able to carry on that tradition.
Well, very cool.
Mm-hmm. And that's Jim, and that's Sydney. When she was little, he loved to take the kids on the tractor, and the four-wheeler too. Yeah. But and so when she got married, she had that picture there at the wedding.
Okay.
And then her other grandpa too, because both of them had passed away when she got married.
It's very special.
Yeah, very special. And my daughter Melissa took some old wood and made the families.
The family sign.
Mm-hmm. A few years ago at Christmas, she gave them all to us.
I love it. That's good.
She said that, and I think there's a slogan on the back of it, because Dad was always saying, well, we might need that for something, so let's just hang on to it. And I didn't even know she got it and fixed them, and nobody else, I don't think, did either.
That's good. Well, all right. Think we got it?
Well, there's one more thing.
Okay.
Well, two more. Okay. I don't know which chair I told you. So maybe you could take a picture of both of these, because I have it, and this is the one my husband redone, and I don't know if I told you that one or the other one.
I think we said this one.
I know, it's this one. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
Can you switch the picture?
I bet we could.
Okay. Because and I don't have to say anything.
It's very pretty. We got it.
And let me think. Yeah. Another lady redone that, Joyce Taylor Sellers. Do you know her? She redid a lot of furniture for us.
Okay. Yeah.
But this is the one, and I told you the story about that.
Yes.
And I thought after you left, I bet I got the wrong one.
Again,
William Hood is his name. I think they came from Oklahoma. I think. I'm pretty sure they did.
Yeah.
And that was in the 1800s sometime. And so I think he owned most all of this land, a lot of land around here, from here to out to did you ever hear of J.L. Hood?
It does sound familiar.
They lost their boy, Daryl Joe Hood. Linda Ware and Jim Ware, do you ever hear of them?
I've heard some of the names.
They lived in that brick house in Huron.
Okay, yeah.
And it was their great-grandpa also.
Okay.
But anyway, that land, actually, I think from my folks' house, my dad and grandpa accumulated a lot of this land after they were married, you know, but I think they owned maybe from the church and maybe some of that on this side, maybe clear to the the Greenleaf School was out there. You know that sharp corner you come around?
Yep.
Okay, the Greenleaf School was straight out north, not there anymore, and he owned all that.
Okay.
So he owned a lot of land.
So your family donated the land for the church?
He did. He
donated the land for the
church and school. I asked my brother if he did for sure. I'm pretty sure.
What was the name of the church again?
It started out Hood's Chapel.
Okay.
But then they changed it to Fairview, and I'm not sure why, Methodist. Then it changed to Fairview United Methodist.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you taking the time for this. And again, Mac Griswold Neighborhood Real Estate, if you're in the market to buy or sell or whatever, look for some land, look for some property, look for your own farm, kind of like Marilyn Davis has out here on D Highway. I'd love to help you. Please give me a call. Till next time.